Welcome and good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. This is the 10:30 hour of the Diana Wright Show live, and we welcome you to the program, and thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. Okay, if you're around the world in Paris or in Germany and all that, you're not bothered by the ads. But if you're here in the US, obviously, there's some ads. You could put on ad block on your computer, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So we're going to welcome you to the program and thank you so much for joining us. This is the day that the Lord has made. I have been thinking, as I say welcome to you from around the world and in the US, I am truly thinking about something I want to share with you this morning that I have been repeating for myself. I heard it on a Tyler Perry movie and I kind of put it in my spirit and think about it all the time. And it's, I don't know if there's anyone out there who can actually sing the entire song. I don't know if it is a song or it really is a hymn or whatever it is. But I simply think the words are good for us because it goes something like this. Help me, Lord, oh help me, Lord. Help me on my journey, help me on my way. Help me, Lord, oh help me, Lord. And I thought to myself, there's so many days where you just need to say that. Before you get ticked off, before you get mad, before you get peed, all of those things. Just say those words. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me on my journey. Help me on my way. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. And my God, it kind of just calms you down. So are you loving yourself today is what I wonder about. Because I simply know for a fact that love is the biggest, more wanting, needy thing, word that people obviously must have on this earth to survive. Just imagine living a life without having a friend who loves you, a husband or a significant other who loves you. You can do without that sometimes. Your children who love you back because we're hoping that you love them first. A parent who loves you, and you don't have to worry about the fact that they don't. And have you thought about the difference between Mother's Day and Father's Day? Father's Day is upon us. It's June. It's this weekend. How many of us are planning for our Father's Day like we planned for our Mother's Day? How many of us always just think about mom and dad is kind of incidental? I don't have the pleasure of having a or knowing a, because I must have one, because I must have been gotten that sperm from that guy to mix with my mom's to make me. So I have one, but I don't know one. So I just simply wonder how many of us are truly thinking about our dads today. How many more cards are sold for mothers than for fathers? How many more gifts are bought for moms and not dads? How many of us truly love our mothers more than we love our fathers? Yes, some people actually do. Well, I have to because I don't know the other person, so can't give love where you don't see the person, can you? So I am just lifting up dads today and asking you to remember your dad this weekend. Let him feel equally as important as your mother. Because without his sperm, you would not simply be here. Right? Some of them are just sperm donors, though. Some of them just don't show any love or anything. They're just there. They don't hug, they don't kiss, they don't give compliments. They're just there. They're just dad. But what if we think about dads as not only, as the Bible tells us, that he's the head of the household. The head of the household doesn't mean that he gives orders and he sits down and do nothing. I think the head of the household actually means that he's supposed to be part of the equation. He's to be equally involved in the raising of his children, in the cleaning of the house, in the washing of the clothes, and the cooking of the food. How about that? It should be equal. And he should not be bossing you around. It is said that women would rather be alone, be with a guy who treats them poorly, than be alone. Well, ladies, I'm here to tell you that you need to quit that thought, because that is a myth. You should be happy all by yourself, single. You should be happy and loving yourself single. And why are there so many single moms and less single dads? Because it seems like the girls always get the burden. And that's the reason I always want girls to protect themselves when they can't control their hormones and their libido. If you don't want to have babies, do what is necessary to prevent having babies. And now that you have the plan B, or the morning after pill, as Dr. Melanie Simpson reminded us last night, we should not be using it as birth control, but we should indeed consider it. And how about abstinence? Isn't that the best way to go? I think all of us girls would have loved to hear that and learn that from our parents. But people of my age and down, most of us, our parents didn't talk to us about sex or hugging or loving or anything of that nature. Oral sex, regular sex, no sex. It was just that you kind of appeared on the earth. But what happened? Where is the process? I spoke to you last night about the I think she was 3 years old that the person was interviewing, and they're telling you that you must get your children to know your real name. You're not just mommy and daddy. Mommy is not a name and daddy is not a name. You need to make sure that your 3-year-old, when asked what's your mother's name, they can say Diana Wright or Tom Stokes is your dad. What if you don't know your dad? That's another story. You just say, I don't know who he is. I think I heard them say his name was so-and-so. So, what do you know? Father's Day cometh upon us. But as I reflect and I see the fervor around Mother's Day, even the ads on television is more so about mothers. So how do fathers feel about all of this? I'm sure they're not even thinking about it too much, because men just seem to be aloof of life sometimes. Nothing bothers them. They go along and everything is great and wonderful. And even when they're feeling pain and they're hurting, they say nothing unless they're evil enough to just lash out. So men, I'm here to encourage you to become a part of the process. Become an integral part of the raising of your children, the cooking of your food, the laundry, the cleaning of the house, and yes, a little romance would be good. Amen. Are you there with me, Mr. Blank? One of my favorite watchers of the program when he's awake, I'm sure, if he's not making up for his beauty sleep. So we welcome you again to the program, and thank you so much for joining us. And we remind you, as we do today and every day, that the crusade that we have on this show is simply called the I Love Me Crusade. Hence, we created the International I Love Me Day, which takes place every year on April 30th. So the next one, April 30th, 2014. We look to that day when you can celebrate yourself, man or woman, mother or father, and truly look in that mirror, obese or skinny, or in between, black or white, green eyes or brown eyes, big nose or small nose, thick lips or thin lips, long hair or short hair, thin or plenty. You can truly look in that mirror and say to yourself, I love me. Thank you, God, for making me the way I am and who I am. But yes, you will need to repeat the words I said at the top of the show. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me on my journey. Help me on my way. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord, because He will. And He must, if the Bible is true, because He made all those promises and He performed all those miracles. So what happened to mine? Where is mine? So as you opened up your boxes of blessings this morning, I truly hope that you found in those boxes the things that you're praying for. Some mornings you pray and the tears come flowing. Some mornings you pray and the eyes are dry. Well, this morning I prayed and my eyes were filled and flowing. So I truly hope for you that you feel blessed today, that you love yourself today, and that you're simply asking God to take you and be with you on that journey and help you on your way. Because He will and He must. And if you have faith, and if you have hope, and if you pray, I don't know, do you trust that it will come true? The Bible tells you that it will. And all the problems that are around you, you take them up, you give them to God and ask Him to remove the mountains and put them into the sea where they will drown and never return. Because there are too many people on this planet that are insecure, that don't love who they are, that want to be someone else, that cannot be satisfied with who they are, and just don't believe and have hope that they can make it. Because you can. And I truly hope that this morning my words are reaching each and every one of you, and you will pass it on to someone else. You will give them the website, you will give them my name, you will tell them about the show, and you will just keep passing it on, because the blessing will be passed along that journey. Because sometimes people just want a hug. Sometimes they just want a kind word. Sometimes they just want to sit across from you and look you in the eye and tell you how much they love you, how much they care for you, and how much they want that to be reciprocated in action and not just in words. So again, I welcome you to the program. And I thank you for joining me. It is Wednesday, so it's normally Wednesday. That is Wellness Wednesday. But my partner in Wellness Wednesday is Dax Dunn, who is now in Iceland. I hope he's gotten there by now. He left on Monday. So I truly hope that he reached his destination safely. And I hope that the leaker, Mr. Swandon, or Mr. Snowden is his name, is not there yet to create havoc, that you can't move and you can't go around the place peacefully and enjoy your time in Iceland. So we hope to see Dax. I think next week he'll be back, but we'll see. So how are we going to start off Wellness Wednesday this week? I'm just going to start off with Mr. Snowden and just wonder. He's a leaker from the NSA surveillance information. He said he was doing that for our good. But when you get jobs that are highly confidential, jobs like one of those that he was doing, you sign confidentiality agreements. I trust you do. So you have to weigh what Mr. Snowden is saying. He's saying he did it for our good when the U.S. government gets him. I'm sure he'll be in jail for probably the rest of his life. So is it worth giving you this information that I believe and I think that most of us Americans who are aware of life and our breathing should have known that during the Bush administration after 9/11, the Patriots Act, remember that thing called the Patriots Act that gave the government carte blanche into seeking all our information, tapping our phones, listening to our phone calls. There was even a time when some people were listening to inappropriate conversations that they were not supposed to be listening to because the person was not talking about terrorism or anything, so they should have just moved on. But no, the conversation was juicy, so they stayed around and listened. And I simply wonder about Mr. Snowden and what he says his motives were. Is he being truthful that he didn't want to become the story? He did not want to become another Mr. WikiLeaks. But did he? Did he really think through the process? Are you breaking the law when you divulge NSA information? Because I think every American after 9/11 should have known that they've been watched by some little thing going on up there, by satellite. How do you think you know where your cell phone knows where you are when you move to the next location? So everyone is getting so hyped up about this whole thing, and I'm truly wondering, have you checked your cell phone to see that everywhere you go it knows where you are? So if that is happening, and if you are able to go on the web and just find any information that you want, I would think that the government is doing the same thing with us. As long as they're not harassing us and they say they're doing it for our safety, shouldn't we have some trust? Well, I refuse to live in fear of my government. I refuse to live in fear about my conversation on my phone or about where I go online or what I'm doing. Because if you're doing nothing wrong in your mind, then I'm not worried. And fear is not part of my vocabulary. Fear is something that you should squash just the way you squash the devil. Because if you live in fear, there's no joy, there's no peace, there's no happiness. There can't be any love either if you live in fear. So I'm asking you to do that today. Not live in fear. Trust what the government says is so until it's proven otherwise. Again, I welcome you to the Diana Wright Show Live. This is a 10:30 hour of the program. And we just simply want to inspire you, educate you, give you some information that you might not even be thinking about or have time to even research. And hoping that you will get out of that depressed state, because if you are depressed, you cannot be thinking about light. Let there be light, and there was light. Depression is darkness. Hopelessness is darkness. Hate is darkness. Unforgiveness is darkness. Envy and jealousy are dark places. So get out of those places and come into the light that Jesus God promised us. So, I just wonder about Mr. Snowden. What he did, I'm sure it's a crime, it's illegal to have divulged all the information that he divulged, but the information he divulged, I don't know if it's that great information, because I knew. The Patriots Act is always here in the back of my mind because I never forgot it. But it seems like we are under this sense of false security, so we forgot about the Patriots Act. And it's being renewed every time it goes up for renewal in Congress. Yes, it is. So mothers, you need to keep your sons in check. And your daughters. Make sure they're doing the right thing and they're not in the wrong place at the wrong time. How about that? Okay. There's a woman who has actually murdered her lover using the stiletto, the high heels, the dangers of the heel. There's a man who came out and said that she told him years ago that she can defend herself. She's not afraid because she'll just use her shoes. So yes, she did use her shoes and killed her fiance or boyfriend or whatever he was to her. But why do you do that? What happens to your life when you kill someone else? Are people not thinking of the consequences before they do things? We are told that they went out and they drank, and yes, that's one of the reasons I don't drink, because I like to be in control of my emotions and my thoughts at all times. And alcohol, in my opinion, alters how you think, what you're thinking, and what you do, and what you say. So she took her heel, very high, pointed heel, and killed the brother by hitting him how many times until the holes were deep. Well, my. All because I think he was arguing because some other guy was trying to pick her up or something like that. Some ridiculous stories. I never, ever think that anyone should get that violent about being jealous until you kill another human being. It's just like the other crazy girl that her trial is, she's now begging for them not to give her the death penalty after she claimed her boyfriend was sexually abusing her and whatever. And someone abuse you that much that you can stab them 27 times and slit their throat from corner to corner? I don't buy that. You must have had some moment of insanity to do something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're with someone and the love has ceased to exist, and you figure you need to go someplace else to someone else or go be by yourself, do it. Taking someone else's life is not the course that we need to take. Destruction is never the answer to our problems. So we see that the high heels not only cause you pain and problems in your foot later on, but it can become a weapon of destruction. Love high heels, you know. I don't handle them very well. I have a good friend that really handles them well. I think she handles them better than anyone I know or anyone I've seen on the planet. Yeah? But goodness, some women, they're taking on them high heels and they can't even walk in them properly. So put the high heels down and walk in the shoes that you can handle. Or be like me. I wear high heels when I'm going out to a place that I'm going to be sitting most of the time. So I don't have to be walking up and down in them things. I think I can handle it pretty good. But, oh no, give me them flats. Love to go in them flats. So, but when you're dressed up, you know, ladies like to feel tall. And some ladies just look great in high heels and look horrible in flats. But don't use your high heel as a weapon. That's not what it was intended to do. It was intended to make you look taller, slender, and feel good about yourself. Not to kill somebody with your high heels. Please, please, ladies, no more, no copycats either. Because now that this story is out, you know, I don't want any other women woman to think that she should now go and murder her loved one with her heel. Wow. And, you know, indeed, there is so many things happening, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Yesterday, it was over and over and over. Bomb threat in Virginia. The airport had to be evacuated. Then Southwest Airlines, bomb threat again. They had to land at a place that they weren't supposed to land. In Atlanta, bomb threat, government offices. What is going on? And these people are calling on the phone. They're such cowards. They're talking about they're calling from the Taliban. I don't think they're calling from any Taliban. I think they're calling from right here in the U.S. and they're homegrown crazies. Absolutely. Trying to use the Taliban as a cover or Al-Qaeda as their cover when they're right here among us. Isn't it an actress who was arrested last week for sending those ricin letters to President Obama and Mayor Bloomberg in New York? It can be anybody. So you just got to look around and make sure you choose your friends properly. And the ones you truly love, don't give up on them. Because, you know, friends are not easy to find these days, and trusting people is not an easy thing. Because people always seem to have an ulterior motive. As I told my good friend yesterday, I said, there is love for you and there's love for you. There are people who love you because they just want to latch on to where you're going, or, you know, what you can give to them, or what you can say to them to make them feel better about themselves, or what you can do for them. But there are people who just truly love you for who you are and want nothing. Those are the people I want. The people who want nothing. Yes, if they get something, they'll take it. Whatever it is. But they're not looking for anything. They just want you to know that you love them and that they want you to succeed. And that's it. No motives behind that. Those are the people I want in my corner, in my inner circle. Okay, so there you go. Alrighty. I see that Kris Humphries, my darling Kris Humphries, I just think that young man is such a nice young man. Even though it didn't work out with Kim Kardashian, he felt used and abused. But now he's happy because the divorce was final April 19th. So he says, you can't force a love life. What great words, Kris Humphries. Congratulations to you for coming to that realization that you cannot force love. You cannot force a love life. The only love you can force is the love of yourself. You can truly force that love. You can force yourself to love yourself because you must. But you cannot force another person to love you. You cannot force a relationship to have love, and you cannot, as Kris says, force a love life. I'm just focused on training, basketball, and having a good time. I don't have a girlfriend right now, he says, but I'm happy. I've got a big smile on my face. So I'm here to say kudos to you, Kris Humphries. Felt bad for your journey, but you've come out on top and you're still smiling. And you're very handsome, so, you know, finding a girl should not be an issue. How about that? So, whoopee for Mr. Kris Humphries, the NBA star. So, we move on. All right. Since it's Wellness Wednesday, I'm going to just do some foodie things and, you know, carry on and remind you that Rad Wellness in Plantation, they do have a great detox, 21-day detox program. You can do it for 10 days like I did because I didn't have a lot of weight to lose. Worked magic, worked great for me. I'm at my ideal weight, feeling good and wonderful, and just leave the rest to God to give me the blessing of Sarah, internally and externally. So I live in the supernatural, and I hope for that, and I know it will come, and it happens every single day. That's part of my blessings from God. So Rad Wellness, as we say good morning to the folks at Rad Wellness, from Vanya to Edith to everyone else on staff there in Plantation, while Dax is away. So I'll just kind of go through some stuff here. I want to start off with this one, which was quite shocking, because I only thought that this was in the Bible. First case of leprosy reported in the Republic of Ireland. A Brazilian man living in Ireland for several years suffered a recurrence of his leprosy that he contracted in Brazil 10 years ago. I truly thought that leprosy was part of the Middle Ages, and so said Dr. Conor Gallagher. He said the same thing too. The man also has tuberculosis, otherwise known as TB, and sarcoidosis. Can one person have all those things? My God. Wow. Risk of contagion in new cases is very slim, very small. So you don't have to go be worried now that you're going to get leprosy. Okay? I'm just letting you know that it's there. And it's not just in Ireland. I've heard of other cases around the world. Leprosy. In Brazil, for instance, there are cases of leprosy. But I truly thought that it was just in the Bible. And I thought for sure the man was healed and there was no more leprosy on earth. But here we are. I can't wait to have a preacher on to ask about that question. And I truly will ask Dr. Melanie about this next Tuesday. Wow, leprosy is back. Well, it's not just back, because this guy, he got it 10 years ago in Brazil. So did you know that it was still here and nobody told me? Wow. Okay. So some foodies now. Foods that will take away 10 years off of you. Now, who wouldn't want to look 10 years younger? I'm sure you do, and I do, and everyone on the planet does. There was a man who died today who was 116 years old. And I told you about the woman in France who is 122 years old. And yes, if I'm going to live until I'm 122, I want to look like that lady because she is strong and doing everything that she normally does. So here are the foods that take away from you 10 years. Shall we believe it or shall we not believe these foods? Well, I'll also throw them at Dax when he comes back. Broccoli will make you glow again. So eat all the broccoli that you want, even though they say broccoli tend to have a little starch in it. So if you're watching your carbs, you can't eat too much of it, but it will give you the glow back. Well, if you don't get the glow from broccoli, you might want to use the bronzer. So, and for those of you who don't have perfect tans because you're Caucasian or, other, then you can use the bronzer too. But they tell you that broccoli will give you the glow back. So take it. Eat up some broccoli. And if you sip some cocoa, it will take care of your heart. Now, I love hot chocolate, but I only like it with the dangerous stuff on the top. I like it with lots of whipped cream and marshmallows. That's the only time I eat marshmallows and love it. Unless you buy some, outdoor fireside and you can toast it or toast it in your fireplace. That's the only time I like marshmallow because it's just a ball of sugar. So, if you love cocoa, drink your cocoa. It will take care of your heart. Here we go again. Oranges. Did you know that oranges have no wrinkles? Hence, oranges will take care of your wrinkles. It has lots of vitamin C, as you know. And it also helps with the production of collagen, which we all need to keep our skin nice and pretty and firm and looking young. So eat up them oranges and get rid of those wrinkles as you go through the process. And I welcome you once again from around the world and in the United States. This is the Diana Wright Show live, and it is a 10:30 hour, and it is Wednesday. It would be Wellness Wednesday if Dax was here, but we're still continuing to give you some wellness stories. I think all the ones I have will keep you in check. And if you want to lose some weight and if you want to do a detox, Rad Wellness is a place for that detox. And their website is rad4u.com, rad4u.com. So you can check them out. Go and do some fishing to ward off disease, prevent cancer, and quash inflammation. So all the fish that you can eat, cod, salmon, herring, name it. Yes, have it all. It's good for you, and it will keep you from diseases. Apart from the fact that you're praying to God to block all sickness and disease from your body, like he promised he would in the Bible, then some fish will help you keep that going. All right, so get a boost from flaxseed and flaxseed oil. Flaxseed oil is hard to stomach because I've done it, I've tried it, I've used it, given it to my daughter, but the best way to do it is to put it in your shake. If you're making a smoothie, just put some flaxseed in there or some flaxseed oil. You won't even know it's there, but it's working for you. Clean up with a cup of spinach. Remember Popeyes, the spinach man? He does a whole lot of vitamin A in there. So it will take care of your eyes. Spinach, good for you. I'm going to make some today. Yes, I will. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are good for vitamin A, and it facilitates collagen production, and it has the mineral copper in it, so it's good for you. And it also has a lot of fiber. It works magic for your bowels. So eat them sweet potatoes. I just simply add a little cinnamon butter to it. You know, mix some cinnamon with a little butter. You don't have to go out and buy no cinnamon butter. Just make it yourself. A little cinnamon, a little butter, give it a stir, whip it until it's creamy, and blend it together, and you have cinnamon butter. You don't have to go buy no cinnamon butter. Okay, so, and have it with your sweet potato, but I like when you bake the potato in the oven as opposed to try to quick do it in the microwave. When you do it in the oven, it simply comes out much more beautiful, soft, and just comes right off the skin. And of course, if you make sure you wash the skin properly before you bake it, and when you're going to bake it, just wash it very nicely with your brush. Get all the dirt off, cut the two ends off, put it in a piece of foil, sprinkle with a little olive oil, seal the foil nice and tight, put it on a baking tray, stick it in the oven, 400 degrees, 350 degrees. It takes a long time to bake. But don't be impatient. It's good for you. Come on, we want everything on the microwave hour. No, do this in the oven. It is much better. Tastes much better. And the skin is nice and smooth. It's not wrinkly like when you put it in the microwave. Okay? So if you want some collagen, ladies, and I suspect that some ladies who are going through the process of, menopause and premenopause, sweet potatoes is a good thing to be eating. Now, no one is saying you're supposed to go eat it every single day, but I would think once or twice a week is good. Once a week is pretty good too. Okay. Get revved up with some beans. They say beans give you energy. Any kind of beans. Black beans, white beans, kidney beans. Oh, beans and more beans. But if you're one of those people who pass a lot of gas with beans, you may not be liking it so much, but it's good for you. Okay. Have you ever heard that chicken will help you to stay young? Is that the reason why we eat so much chicken in this country? Yes, they're saying that eat lots of chicken to stay young. It's high in zinc and selenium. And selenium, of course, is It's good for you, good for you, good for you. And zinc keeps away that cold and that flu. Wow, it balances your hormones. That's selenium. And it promotes collagen production again. And of course, everyone tells you this, sip that green tea because it boosts your metabolism and it is also helping you with that inflammation in your joints, in your body. Oh my goodness, the older you get, the more inflammation. What are you supposed to do? Just starve and not eat any food? Goodness, I'm serious. When you don't eat or you're fasting, you don't have any pain, but just start eating some stuff and see what happens. So we'll keep that in mind and we'll challenge Dax with that when he comes back. Okay. There's also something trending that is asking, can food help you with your grief? You know, when someone dies, because you know they have a lot of foods that they call comfort foods, like macaroni and cheese. My comfort food is soup. I love soup. Any kind of soup. I don't care. Soup. I just love soup. Okay? And actually soup is good because it actually keeps your weight down because it fills you up and it's mostly water. So you're not, you know, as long as it's not a soup with a whole lot of sweet stuff and things going on in it. I like coconut soup from the Thai restaurant. I like gungo pea soup, red pea soup, beef soup, chicken soup, and fish soup. And give it to me and I'll have it. Right? So soup is good. It's also good if you're on a diet to drink a lot of soup because you're not consuming a lot of solids. It's mostly water. I don't want you to go and eat 10 pieces of hard knuckle potatoes and yams and stuff in the soup. Drink the liquid and you become satisfied pretty quickly. Yeah? So, have yourself a lot of soup. It's good for you. And make sure when you're making your soup, you put things like leeks and, you know, that kind of thing in it to give it some extra boost. All right? So, can we use comfort foods like soup and macaroni and cheese and cakes and stuff like that? That really, you know, when you eat sweets like cake, you feel like you're in heaven. Because, you know, it's so wonderful. But then when you finish, you go, oh my God, I shouldn't have eaten that cake. It's going to make me fat. But I think if you eat a piece of cake once a week or once a month, it ain't going to kill you. Or it ain't going to make you fat either. And if you go to the French restaurant that I like to go to and have a croissant, it ain't going to do you any harm once a month. We are too obsessed with everything we do. And we try to overdo everything. Everything in moderation. But if you're diabetic, I'm suggesting that you take out all the carbs out of your diet and all the sugar. And see how much better you feel. Then if you feel better, you say, thank you, Diana. If you don't, then you say, Diana talks a lot of baloney. But I'm serious. I'm pleading to all the diabetic people out there. Get rid of all the carbs for a minute and all the sugar for a minute. Give yourself like 21 days because, you know, they say that after 21 days, any habit can be formed. So if you do the thing for 21 days, then boom, you are able to continue in that mode. So I'm encouraging all the diabetics today to diss the carbs. You don't really need it. Vegetables and protein. Fruits and vegetables. Call me in 21 days and tell me you don't feel better. And you got to be strict with it. So that's my challenge to each and every diabetic person out there today. Who is going to take me on this challenge? I'm not diabetic, but I see so many of my loved ones, including my mother, who is diabetic, and the side effects and the things that can happen because you're diabetic is just you can get blind, you can lose your toes, your fingers, you know. Oh, it gives you nerve pain. It's not worth it. So give up the carbs and give up the sugar for 21 days. I'm begging. And I'm going to see how many people will be able to tell me after 21 days how much better you feel within yourself. You're doing this because you love you. You're doing this not for me or because I'm giving you the challenge. You're doing it because you love who you are and you don't want to go into a diabetic coma. So do this. And you want to get off that medication too. Food. Let no one tell you that I don't love food. I love food. I love good food, exotic food. I try every food from every country. I'm one of those people. I have no inhibitions when it comes to food. I'll try. If I don't like it, I won't go back. But if I love it, I'll continue. So let's take an experiment and travel through the journey of food. Let food not destroy us. Let us enjoy food like the French do. They just enjoy their food. They take an hour, 2 hours for lunch. And they just take their time and eat very slowly. They enjoy their croissant and, they walk a lot. And I don't know how many fat people you see in Paris that are actually French. I'm not talking about tourists now, because I'm sure you'll see some tourists there. And there's a bakery a boulangerie on every corner in Paris. But people are just still slim. They eat bread all the time, and the Bible tells us to eat bread. They eat cheese all the time, but hence they're not fat because they eat small portions. Remember, Dr. Melanie Simpson told us last night that our portion sizes is crucial to our diet. So be like the French, whether you like them or not, whether they're snooty or not. Take on some of their habits. Eat tiny portions. And let's see what happens with your diabetes. All my friends and my family members who have diabetes, please, I'm pleading to all of you. And, you're just a viewer. You're just watching me. So I adopt you as my friend. So be my friend and do this for yourself. If you have a mother, a sister, a family member, a loved one, please call them up right now and ask them to take this challenge. All carbs gone, all sugar gone. Focus on loving themselves, being healthy, and getting rid of diabetes. It is just becoming too big in this country that I'm almost getting to the place where I'm having conspiracy theories in my head. Like, are they putting something in the food that's making us diabetic? But I said no. I'm not going to go that route. I just want you to take control of your own lives. How about that? So do that. Not for me. Do it for yourself. And love yourself along the way with it. Reminding you of October 5. That's the day that we're going to have a party, but it is a white party. No black, like I'm wearing today. You can dress it up with some diamond looking stuff or silver or whatever, but you're not allowed to wear anything but white. White top, white bottom. I don't care about the shoes you wear, but all white. I want to see a sea of white when I drive up to that party on October 5. Because I know you're going to have a good time. And October, it still is warm in Florida, so you'll be nice and cool in your white. So a white fundraising party given and being thrown to raise some money to save lives. Courtesy of Save a Life Jamaica Foundation. And the secret is out. It's a white party. So white fundraising party. It's only going to cost you $30. And if you can't make the party, and you have no excuse, you have only an excuse if you live in Russia or Iceland or, faraway land, Australia. But we want you to go online and contribute. Give your donation of $30 to the cause. Because we are promising you that we will help some people with their glasses, with their hospital bills, with their examination that they can't pay for, and it will save their lives if they know what's wrong so they can get the right medication, medical supplies, and all of that good stuff. And it's not just one place. We're spreading the wing around the world. So we thank you for that, and we ask you to circle that on your calendar along with April 30th, which is International I Love Me Day. Yeah? I-I-L-I. I-I-L-I. International I Love Me Day. I IILMI. Because everything is being abbreviated these days, you know. So I get tempted to do this every time. So you just, whatever way you have to put it on your calendar, I don't care, as long as you remember it. Okay? All right. So comfort food. The experts are saying, clinical psychologist Dr. Claudia Herbert says, cooking can have restorative powers. Can you imagine cooking having that much power? It can restore. For those grieving, because after they go through that initial pain, when they cook and they eat, they feel they are with that person, especially if that meal is something that they used to enjoy with that person. They feel close to the person. That's what she says. So it brings them, she says that food can give you a sense of comfort and bring that person back to the good times they enjoyed with the person they lost. So yes, we throw around this word comfort food all the time. Comfort food, macaroni and cheese, for a lot of people is comfort food. I don't know how they get that to be comfort food. I think my comfort food soup, I think, is a little better than macaroni and cheese, because that's a whole lot of carbs and cheese ready to clog up your arteries. So I guess that's the reason for the comfort. But I'm truly longing to eat a really nice piece of plain cake that's light and fluffy, and I don't want to bake it myself because I can, but I'm lazy. I don't want to go whip out the mixer and get all the sugar and the flour and the butter and the eggs and the this to do that, and make sure I'm folding in the flour properly so it's nice and light. And I'm told if you add some cream cheese to your plain cake, or you add, what is it, that milk, heavy cream, it makes your cake lighter. I'm going to get to it one of these days, but I don't like to bake a whole cake, because then the temptation hounds you in your house. So you go, I'm going to have to eat a piece of that cake today because I don't want to get it to be spoiled. So you eat and you eat until you realize the cake is gone and most of it is in your belly. So I don't want to, just be eating a whole cake. I would love to just have one nice juicy slice of plain cake, because I don't like cakes with a lot of things in it going on. Okay, not even frosting. I don't even need no frosting. But if it's frosting, it has to be cream cheese or butter frosting or something like that. Nothing heavy. So that's what I'm longing for. And I'm not going to deprive myself. I'll have it once a month if I feel it, if I see it. Because, a lot of people make them plain cake, but they are just not moist. They're dry. So that's not the cake I want. That is what I call comfort food, or a piece of cheesecake that is really creamy and good. I'm tempting you, I know that, so I should stop. Okay. All right. Another thing for this Wellness Wednesday is exercise myths that I'm going to throw out with the water. Slow workouts burn more fat. They lied. If you work out slowly, it's not going to burn any more fat. Interval training boosts fat burning. So when you do that run fast, or you do that sprint thing, or you do that jumping jack thing, those are the things that burn your fat. Or you do the spin on the spin bike. So let no one tell you that if you work out slowly, it's going to burn more fat. That's a myth. Stretching prevents injury. That's another myth. Lifting heavy weights will make you look like a bodybuilder. No, ladies, I've been lifting weights, light weights, for a very long time, and my muscles are nowhere looking like any bodybuilder. Okay? That's a myth. Yes, some women, they become bodybuilders because they're taking all those protein drinks and they're taking whatever medication they take, and it actually builds their muscles. They give them more testosterone and all that. But generally, if we're not doing any of those things, ladies, and we're just lifting our 5 and 10 pound or 15 pound weights, we're not going to look like a bodybuilder. We're just going to look toned and sexy. How about that? I don't think guys like muscle girls anyway. I don't like muscle guys. Yeah, nice shoulders and stuff, but don't be coming to me with all that stuff. Okay? You know those guys who are muscle bound that they stand up like this, No, not here. Anyway, okay. You have to lift weights to get strong. That's also a myth, because lifting weights does not necessarily make you stronger. It's not the only thing that can make you stronger. Working with your own body can make you stronger. Cooling down will keep you from getting sore. Myth, and that's a lie. I never cool down. I just lie there and just get up and go take a shower. Okay, you only have to exercise if you are trying to lose weight. Big myth. You should exercise to stay fit. That's the reason you should exercise. Once you get to your, desirable weight, or the weight that you feel comfortable in your clothes, please don't stop working out, because the working out keeps the weight down and keeps you strong too. So, drinking coffee before working out will make you hydrated. That's a myth. I don't drink coffee, so I can't speak to that one. Working out on an empty stomach burns more fat. Not true. When my stomach is empty, it's harder for me to work out. So I agree. Definitely, working on an empty stomach is not the way to go. Don't work on a full stomach either. But make sure you've had something to eat prior to working out, or even some orange juice or something. Or an orange or a fruit or something. Anyway, ab exercises will flatten your belly. That's a myth. You have to be born and be blessed like me. Just have a flat belly, period. I'm boasting right now because I got that from my mom. Flat stomach doesn't come easy for a lot of women. Especially after they have children, it is hell to get that belly away. A lot of them have to go and do that tummy tuck thing. So I am blessed. Thank you, Jesus. I'm blessed. Okay, a six-pack is a sure sign of a strong core. That's a myth. They're saying that even though you have a strong core, it doesn't mean that you are actually having some strength. So, crunches are the best way to strengthen your core. Not true. You know that any exercise that you raise your legs or get your legs involved coming up helps your core. A lot of people think it's only doing crunches. Some of us can't do crunches because it hurts our necks. Okay, next one. Pilates create long, lean muscles. How do you expect your muscles to be long and lean? Your muscles is your muscles. I don't see them getting any longer. Do you visualize your muscles getting longer? No. When you lose weight and you get slimmer, you seem taller. You seem like your muscles are longer, but they're not. That's a myth. Whoa. Exercising turn fat into muscles. That's also a myth. Because sometimes when you lose a lot of weight and you exercise like crazy, that fat is going to be flabbing around. You got to find another way to get rid of it. Exercise alone won't do it. Okay, taking ibuprofen, that's Advil or any of those things, Tylenol, prevents sore muscles. It doesn't. It will help you with your pain or your aches of your joints and all that kind of stuff. But sore muscles need to be exercised more to not be sore. A lot of people say, oh, my muscles are sore, so I can't work out today. No, you need to work that muscle again today so that the soreness will go away. Okay, staying off your feet soothes your sore muscles. Myth. Keep walking. Your muscles will eventually heal. Exercising at night interfere with your sleep. I do know that one is a myth because I exercise most of the times in the evenings and I sleep well if I don't do too much, like, really a lot of sweating and stuff. I sleep pretty well. If you do excessive exercise, yes, it might keep you up a little longer, but it doesn't interfere with your sleep. So let no one tell you that. Keep on working out, no matter what time you have to work out, whether it's midnight, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, morning. Just keep on moving. It's important to move. So we have lots more stories here for you, but we are going to press on out of here because it's time to go. But before I go, I just want to give you this one. Wow. There are 9 ways to get rich these days and get rich quicker. The easiest way, they say, is to just marry a rich guy and be done with it. Or marry a rich girl. Whoa. And the level for this, the risk level, you decide what the level of that one is. I'm going to have to repeat these because I want to, go through them slowly. But I'm just going to rush them right now, and then I'm going to go through them in more detail with you tomorrow. Self-publish a book. The risk level for that is really low. Okay, get a hardship location job, those jobs that are really risky. The risk level is really high. Like working in the oil rig in the North Sea or something like that. Go viral with a video. Risk level, low. Become a landlord. Risk level is medium. Don't become a landlord. I hate it. But they say for some people it works. Flip real estate. Risk level, very high. Create a product. Risk level is medium. Create a product. Well, I created my I Love Me t-shirts. I'm not rich yet. Am I going to be rich? Okay, that's medium. Start a business. Risk level, high. Just think of the people like Henry Ford, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, and those people. And then you will want to start a business. But make sure it's a business that's going to move millions. Invest aggressively. The risk level of that one, it's very high. So watch your money and your pennies. But I like the second one. Self-publish a book. That's what I'm doing. It's called Deadly Negligence, and it will give you the story of my life for the past 6 years and why I believe so much in faith, hope, prayer, and miracles. And that's where I leave you today, as I thank you so much for joining me. And I say to you, love yourself. Force yourself to love yourself. If you force yourself to do nothing else in life, force yourself to love you and who you are. And if you don't like something, we're not saying don't change it, but love the way you are at this moment, right now. And be thankful for who God made you to be. What you do with the gift that God gave you is the gift back to God. So ask Him to come along your journey and help you and come along with you on the way, because He'll be there. So keep those words in mind: hope, faith, prayer equals miracles. As I say, adios, ciao, and au revoir. Once again, I thank you for being my company inside the Diana Wright Show live on this Wellness Wednesday. Check out radforyou.com. That's Rad Wellness. They're in Plantation, Florida, and they have a great 21-day detox program that helps you not only to lose weight, but to cleanse your lymphatic system. It's good. Check it out. You might just like it, and give me a call and let me know. And for my diabetic friends, just go on a 21-day of no carbs and no sugar. And let's see how you feel at the end of that journey. I challenge you today to do that. So put the love, the big love. You know, there's some people that I talk with that I send much love because I just love the word love. I love love. I seriously do. And the people I truly love, it's always love, love. Because for them, I want to give them all the love that I have. So I try to send love, love messages to those people that I truly, truly, truly love. And you should do that too. You should let the word love become the word that you cherish every single day. Don't give the word hate and the word the devil and those things any credence. We know we have to fight the devil every single day. We do know that. We have to fight the devil. But I really and truly ask you to tell the devil that he is a lie. We know he's there. We're going to fight him every single day. But we must do our best to get rid of the devil out of our lives and give love to those who we truly love. Don't assume that someone knows that you love them. Tell them that you love them. And don't just say, I love you. Show some action. Give them time. Give them you, because most of the times that's what people are yearning for. You talk to husbands and wives will tell you, he pays no attention. He gives me no time. I'm lonely. So give time to your loved ones. Take the challenge if you're diabetic. Take the detox if you want to lose some weight. Let it be your own wellness that's important to you. Have a great day. Be blessed. And as Dax always say, be well, live well, and stay well. And if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Have a great day. Be blessed and stay prayed up. It's important to pray. Doobie doobie doo.